What's up guys, it's Alex here. Today we're gonna talk about one simple technique that can help you to stay productive all day long. Have you ever been in a situation when you needed to work really hard and you just couldn't meet deadlines and you had a lot on your plate and you just couldn't do this? You just couldn't finish this work and you were so disappointed, and maybe you didn't get a big bonus, or maybe you didn't sign a client for your business. Or probably you can remember some days when you just were procrastinating for several hours or several days or maybe weeks and just couldn't start working. Just didn't feel this way, I know it's totally fine, but it's an issue that can be solved, and there's like a really good approach for that. So there is a technique with a really weird name called Pomodoro. So it has nothing to do with ketchups or other vegetables. By the way, tomato is a fruit. So this technique is pretty simple. It consists of 5 simple steps. First, set a task you're gonna work on. Second, set a timer for 25 minutes. Third, work on the task till the timer rings. Fourth, take 5-minute break. Fifth, repeat from the first step. Each 25-minute period is called Pomodoro. So you basically kinda eat a Pomodoro every 25 minutes if you finish your task. So 4 Pomodoros considered a set. After each set, instead of spending 5 minutes, you spend 30 minutes as a break. During 25 minutes, when you work on your task, you just concentrate on your work. You do nothing but work. You should ignore all notifications. You don't check your social media. You don't answer your text messages. You don't interact with friends. You're just focused on your work. I know it's a real life, so you probably cannot ignore all the notifications. For instance, your boss can send you an email asking you to start working on some other urgent task, and it's totally fine. In this case, if you can just keep working for the 25 minutes, you just do that. You just write down the task you're gonna need to work on and keep working on your current one. And in a rare case, when it's too urgent and you need to start working on this new task right here and right now, in this case you just reset your timer and start over. You wasted your Pomodoro and just need to earn another one. That's fine. If you finish earlier, you can just do some retrospective, check what went well, what needs to be improved, or just take a break. I know we all live in a real world and just a few techniques work as they are written. So let me show just a few examples. First one, for instance, your boss sends you a message and you understand that you need to start working on a task, but imagine you have just 5 minutes left on your timer. In this case, nothing bad will happen if you just keep working on a task. You just continue to be focused on this task. You just do whatever needs to be done. After that, you just switch to your new task. Or another example, it's just one of these days when you just don't feel like working. You just want to hang out with your friends or coworkers. Your phone is vying for your attention and you urgently need to check what is new on Twitter or Facebook or wherever. Maybe you want to view some interesting video on YouTube. So in this case, you just need to remember that you only need to work for 25 minutes and that's it. And instead of procrastinating, you just can push yourself a little bit to work on this task. After that, you can do whatever you want. You have your earned 5 minutes that you can spend however you want. Or maybe you even have 30 minutes if you're really productive today. So this technique is very adjustable. So instead of 25 minutes, you can take 50 minutes as a Pomodoro and you can work on your task for 50 minutes. After that, you can take a 10-minute break. Or if you think that 30-minute break is too much for you, you can just set 15 minutes. Or maybe in these days you're so productive and you just want to keep working and working and you don't want to spend much time on your break. So if you have a question why you need it, why you need to be productive, why you need to be at your peak performance, let me answer to that. For instance, if you are a full-time employee, you just can get noticeable by your boss and get promoted. So you'll get a higher salary, you'll get more benefits, maybe a better position, so it pays off. Or in case you're self-employed, you know that the more you work, the more money you get. That simple as it is. After all, you may have some side hustle, and the earlier you finish your work, the earlier you can start on that and the more time you can spend on your hustle. And this may bring you new skills or new career opportunities. So why this works? As I explained before, in the days when you tend to procrastinate and you're just too lazy or too exhausted to work, or you have too much work to do so you just can't even start, maybe you're demotivated by a great deal of tasks you have today, In this case, you know that you need to focus just on one task, the task you are working on within 25 minutes. And you don't care about all the rest of the work you have. And also you have breaks you can spend however you want. So this helps you to keep working even if you don't feel like it. And for instance, having procrastinated for days or weeks, it's way easier to push yourself to start working if you understand that you need to work for only 25 minutes, not for the whole day. Or in the days when you are just in this flow and you just can work for hours on end doing your tasks, you need to remember that the longer you work, the worse your brain performance is. Your attention level goes down, it's harder to find solutions or mistakes. Also, your anxiety may grow because you're just so irritated, you're trying to fix something or maybe to accomplish something, and in this case you just can't find a simple solution and you get so angry. Because your brain kind of behaves as muscle. If you don't give it rest, it will be exhausted. Even 5-minute breaks really help in this case because during these 5 minutes you just can walk around, think about something else, check your social media or unplug in some other way, maybe talk to your coworkers. After that you can get back to work, and in some cases you may just find a solution. And even if you're in this flow, it may seem counterintuitive, but it works. You just walk around thinking about different stuff, you get some break, your brain relaxes a bit, and after that it starts working efficiently again. So by having these short breaks over and over again, you help your brain to stay productive. Also, one important thing to mention is your health, because our eyes are not meant to maintain focus on one point for hours. They need to constantly switch focus, and if you don't do this, you can get some serious issues with your health. So if you don't have any problems with your eyes, you might avoid them in the future. Your hands need break too, because one of the contemporary diseases is carpal tunnel syndrome. You can easily avoid it by just having these breaks and maybe doing some exercises with your hands. After all, the majority of us have sedentary lifestyle, and it is really bad for our health. So even if we stand up for a couple minutes every half an hour, it will help us significantly. It helps your blood to circulate throughout your body. And last but not least, your brain will appreciate that, because your brain will keep working efficiently and won't be exhausted by the end of the day. So I know this approach may seem really simple, but it really helps. After all, if you have any problems with your performance, you just can try it out. Let me share you my personal story how this technique helped me completely change my life. I lived in a poor country and felt unsafe and just decided to immigrate to another country. I chose Canada, and to immigrate to Canada I needed really good English skills. Yet I had almost no skills at all. At this time I had a full-time job that I couldn't quit because I needed money to immigrate, and also I needed to study English. So with this technique I would finish my work within 2 or 3 hours. I would finish as much as I had done within a whole day before. And I worked remotely, so I was able to study English after that. So I would just unplug for an hour, and after that I would be able to study English. I would take classes, I would practice speaking English with my wife, I would read a lot of books, I would write essays, I would do practice tests, I would watch TV series and movies in English and do whatever it takes for me. So it took me 11 months to get from not speaking at all to an advanced level. I know I have still a lot to do with my English, but I'm here now, I'm in Canada, and I'm pretty happy about this. So nowadays I use this technique every day at my work, and I've been using it for several years so far. So let me just quickly recap. You have just 5 simple steps. First step, you set a task you're gonna work on. Second, you set a timer for 25 minutes. Third, you work on this task till the timer rings. Fourth, you take a 5-minute break. And fifth, you start over from the first step. And don't forget for a long break after each set of Pomodoros, which is 4 Pomodoros. And there are plenty timer apps that are specifically built for this technique. So you just can Google them, install them and use, and they will help you with this technique. And as a result, will help you to be productive. So try this technique and feel free to let me know in comments how it went for you. So that's it, guys. See you in the next video.